Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Good morning if you are watching this video in the morning. Good evening if you are watching this video in the evening. So it's been a long that I have been uploaded in video in my YouTube channel. So now I am back with one more video with one more topic in Selenium itself. So as part of our Selenium playlist, I have told you only about two classes, I guess, only two classes. So it was about Selenium introduction and the components of Selenium in the first lecture. And in the second lecture, I have explained you about the Selenium WebDriver architecture, how the Selenium code will get mm, display the output. What is the process that is being happening in the background when the test engineer executes a particular program and it will give the output, how it is going to give the output. So this is the concept that we have discussed previously in my two lectures of Selenium playlist. So thereafter we have shifted to the playwright and how the playwright works, what is playwright, what is how the playwright architecture will happen, and what is the difference between browser and browser engines, and what is the architecture difference between Selenium and Playwright, and what is the overall difference between Selenium tool and the Playwright framework. So these are all the topics that we have covered already in our previous lectures. Now I am coming back to my Selenium playlist where I have started. Now I don't want to stop that Selenium playlist, so I want to continue that playlist where I'm explaining about deep about the Selenium concepts till framework, TestNG framework and CI/CD pipelines also. So I'm going to teach you all those things. Later, if time permits, I'm planning for a separate playwright playlist where we can able to get the knowledge about the playwright also. So I'm planning for that. So it's not sure. So when I'm going to make the playwright series. So as of now, we are going with the only Selenium playlist, and I am planning for playwright playlist also. So I'm going with the Selenium playlist only with Java. So as part of our Selenium playlist, as we have already discussed the components of Selenium and Selenium WebDriver architecture. So these are the two main topics that we have covered there. So if you haven't watched those videos, so I will upload those video links in my description. So please go there, watch it. Please subscribe to my channel, like it, and click on the bell icon so that you will get the updates very soon as I have uploaded. Now, so coming back to the topic, so to get more knowledge about the Selenium, so we need to know about HTML and DOM. This is our topic today. So, what is HTML and what is DOM? Why Selenium requires HTML and DOM? And as we are learning Selenium, we need to learn Java. In the sense, we need to have a programming language knowledge, right? So I'm telling now we need to have the little bit knowledge of HTML and JavaScript also. Yeah. Why? How many we need to learn? You can ask. No, nothing. So HTML is a nothing, guys. So it's just a couple of tags. I will explain you in my in next coming minutes. So and the down topic also. So today's our topic was, without getting late, let's get into the topic. Let me share my screen so that you can able to view so whatever I'm seeing. Yes. Yeah. Are you able to see my screen, right? Yes. Right. Now. So today's our topic was, as we have discussed, HTML and DOM, guys. So I am going to explain you about HTML and DOM in this lecture. If time permits, I will explain these two things. If time doesn't permits, I will go with the HTML for the today's lecture, and one more lecture I will do on DOM structure so that you will give able to get the very deep knowledge about these two things. Right. So today's our topic was HTML and DOM structure, guys. So to have the to get the knowledge about to to get the knowledge about Selenium or to have a great knowledge about Selenium, we should know about HTML. So we should have a little bit knowledge about HTML. Knowledge of HTML is required to learn the Selenium very clearly. So this is I am going to tell. Now, why we require that knowledge? Why we need to have the requirement of HTML knowledge for the Selenium? Why in the sense, let's say we are having a manual test case, guys. So we are having a manual test case, that is test case 1. So let's say test case 2. So the test case 1 work is to identify the, let's say we are having a username. Let's say we are having a login page, sorry. Login page where we are having username, password and the button, guys. So this is for, let's say this is for username and this is for password and test case 3 is for button, guys. Now, what we are telling in the test case, so we will write the test case and test steps which we need to produce, which we need to follow while doing the testing. So we will do the things, right? So whenever a test case has been written for the input field of login, username of login, so we need to identify this particular element on the web page. For say, this is a big web page. So here we are having a username and here we are having a password and here we are having a login button. So the test engineer who written this test case will tells us, right, identify the username first. So we need to identify this username field where it exists on the web page. Same goes with the password and the same logic works with the login button also. First, we need to identify the particular web element where it is present in the web browser to do actions on it, right? So in manual test cases, how we will identify the manual test engineer who is executing the test cases will identify by his own eyes. Correct. Now, coming to the automation testing, to perform, to execute these test cases, the test case 1 and test case 2 and test case 3, the automation framework, whatever we are using, the automation tool, whatever we are using, that says Selenium, need to identify the element, right? So let's say this is a username and I'm entering an username in this particular field, right? So the manual test engineer will identify through his eyes and enter the username manually here, right? But this is not the case in automation testing. Something tool is working, tool is doing all the things that we are doing manually, right? So this needs to identify, the Selenium need to identify first where the element is presenting. Once after finding the element, it will do the actions whatever it requires on this particular web element. So to find out this to find out this particular elements on the Selenium is going to identify these type of elements, whatever the elements that we are targeting, these type of elements by using DOM structure wise. How the Selenium is going to identify? Selenium is going to identify the elements on the web page by using DOM structure. DOM structure means document object model. Document object model. Now we can say, you can say that, okay, so Selenium identifies web elements through this DOM structure. So we can have the knowledge of DOM. Why we need the require the HTML? No, guys, we require the knowledge of HTML also. Why in the sense? Let me tell you. So basically what happens in our organizations, we can say that, let's say we are having a web application. So you know that Selenium will automate the web application, right? So let's say we are having a web application. So web application will include what it includes front end, back end, and the backend logic in SQL also. So what this front end comprises of, guys? So front end comprises of three things. First one is HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So let me talk a little bit about these HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for 5 minutes. So I don't want to take much time on this particular thing, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Basically, whatever we are seeing in the application, let's say you are seeing this board, this Miro board, right? So they need to design a structure, right? So let's say a Miro logo need to get displayed here. An untitled board is will need to display a share option, upgrade option, and all these things need to get displayed here. So basically, for a web application, HTML will provide the structure of that particular web page, guys, structure of the web page, right? So CSS will provide that how much. So CSS will provide style for that particular web page. Let's say this is in blue color, and these are all in black color, and this is in some green color, right? So what color we need to apply? How much width of the particular icon should be there? Height of the icon should be there? How good the animations are? So these all comes under CSS, guys. So it is basically like providing styles for the web application. So whatever the structure that we have provided through HTML, now we need to provide that HTML through for providing of styles. So for providing of styles, we should follow the CSS, guys. Now why we require JavaScript in the sense? So until CSS and HTML, the web pages are static, not non-reactable, we can say. So to make the web pages, the web applications dynamic, and also to make these web applications interactive, we can say, we need to use JavaScript, guys. So this is the internal structure of only front end. So if you're having any web application, so it comprises of three ways: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, whatever the code that we have, that the developer will write to provide the structure for the web page, he will write it in .html file, right? So what will happen if he executes a .html file in a browser, the browser is going to convert this HTML file into DOM tree, guys. And also Selenium can't able to communicate with directly with the HTML code that they have written. Selenium can't have access and can't able to communicate with the .html file that programmer have been written. So Selenium can able to convert with the DOM tree structure of that particular browser, guys. So whatever the code that has been written by the programmer with the .html file, once after executing that code, it will be converted into DOM structure. It is DOM tree. Now it is easy for the Selenium to communicate with the particular DOM structure to find out the elements and able to perform the actions whatever the test engineer is saying. That's that's there, guys. So this is the reason why we need to have the knowledge of HTML and the DOM. So you got the reason, right? So I took some much time to explain this, why we need to understand, why we need to have the knowledge of HTML and DOM structure. So now I'm going to tell you what is DOM in my next lecture. So for this today's lecture, we are going to discuss with only the HTML, right? So let me scroll down. So you understood, right? Yes. So let us get into the topic, which is HTML. So a lot of people may get doubt by the time that what is HTML. HTML. Venki is speaking about for last 15 minutes HTML. What is this HTML? So HTML stands for hypertext, hypertext, sorry, hypertext markup language, guys. What is this markup language? We have listened about programming languages and we have listened about query languages. Let's say programming languages, we are having C, C++, Java, Python, Ruby, number of programming languages we are having. So let's say query languages, SQL is a query language. And coming to the markup language, only one markup language is there, guys. As of my knowledge, it was HTML only. So what does this markup language will contains of in the sense? So the markup language will comprises of tags, guys. The combination of tags will call it as an hypertext markup language. So the markup language will contain the tags, guys. Right? Understood, right? So now you can have the doubt of tags. What is tags? Before that, I want to tell you, as I already told you, this HTML will provide the structure for the web pages. Structure for the web pages, guys. Skeleton structure for the web pages. That's it. So let's say if we have opened in YouTube, right? So if your internet connectivity was not good, right? So you are going to have some lines over there. Let's say one video description and one other video, one description, right? So it is a structure of that particular YouTube page. So how it is going to display once after the data is coming. So that is the structure, guys. So that is going to be provided by the HTML, right? So it is a markup language. Now we are using 5.0 version of HTML, guys. And whatever the HTML are there, those all will get ended with an extension of .html. So .html is the file where the HTML files are going to save, guys. Understood, right? So now the markup language comprises of tags. So what are tags? Let me explain you the things. So what the HTML tags in a sense, so I will tell you as one minute. Let me connect my heart here. Wait, sorry. So whatever the thing that have been enclosed in angular brackets is called tag, guys. It's called as tag. So in this tag also we are having two things. The first one is what we can say opening tag, yes, opening tag, and the second one is closing tag, guys. So the opening tag means the one which opens like this and closes like this. The closing tag means it is the closing tag, guys, right? And in these tags also we are having two categories. First category is paired tags, right? And the second category is unpaired tags. What does mean by paired tags and what does mean by unpaired tags means the tags which will have both opening and closing to represent a web element is called paired tag. This is a paired tag. The tag which is having only opening tag that doesn't require closing tag to get completed is called unpaired tags. So we can write this in this way also. This is unpaired tags. So some of the examples for this paired tags are so lot of mostly whatever the tags that present in HTML are all are always the paired tags, guys. So we can say from H1 to H6. So whatever the tags are there, those are all opening paired tags only. So div tag, span tag, bold tag, italic tag. So many tags are there in this opening tag. So coming to the examples of this particular unpaired tag, we are having input tag, which is an unpaired tag, and also break, and also an horizontal line. So image also we can say image. So these are the some of the examples for this unpaired tags. Nothing what we can say. So nothing hard here, guys. So HTML means of hypertext markup language. Markup language comprises of tags. A tag means which will be embedded within angular brackets like this. So in this we are having opening tag and the closing tag. Opening tag symbol is this and closing tag symbol is this. And the categories of tags are paired tag and unpaired tag. The paired tag comprises of opening tag and closing tag both, and the unpaired tag comprises of only the opening tag, guys. Yes. Now, next, coming to the next topic of this particular HTML. So, we are going to discuss about the structure of the HTML, guys. So, later we will get into the some of the tags and the examples of the particular tags and why we require the knowledge of the particular HTML. So, I am going to tell you in the next few minutes. Don't worry about this. So, first we will discuss about now as of the part of our HTML. So we will discuss about structure of HTML, right? Structure of HTML. So the first line of the structure of this HTML is doc type, doc type HTML, guys. Doc type HTML and HTML head. In this head we will have title, guys. So let's say the Google title, end of the title tag. So now end of the head tag. So opening of body. So in this body, we are going to have so many elements. So closing of body, closing of HTML is. So this is the standard structure that we need to follow while we are writing an HTML code, whatever it may be. So this doc type HTML will tell that the version of the particular HTML, guys. As I already told you that HTML is now whatever we are using this 5.0, guys. So this HTML, this is whatever there is there, that will lies under HTML opening and closing and the head body. So let's say we are having, we will compare this with an human body example. So this is, guys, let's say this is a browser. This will have head, right? This is head and this is body. So whatever the functionalities that we are going to write, so we are going to write under this body, right? So this is head tag and this head tag will have a title tag. That's it. So that's it, guys. So this is about structure of the HTML. Now I'm going to tell you an important part of our particular HTML, which requires the Selenium knowledge. So whatever that we have written, so we are having some different types of tags, guys. You can see here, you can see in the structure of HTML itself. So we are having lot many tags that, let me change the color of my pen. So we are having the lot many tags that one is we have seen that HTML tag, opening and closing, which is a parent tag, and another one is title. Sorry, guys, title, and another one was body. Like this under body, we are going to have so many tags, guys. So we are having some tags from H1 tag like this from H1 to H6 we are having this. So all are tags only H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. These are all heading tag, guys, we can say, and the div tag. So this is a div tag and the bold tag. This is a bold tag, guys. Now The whatever that we have displaying under this bracket, under this angular brackets, this is called as tag name, guys, which is very important. We are going to use in our Selenium syntaxes tag name, tag name, tag name. So at that particular time, you need to get the knowledge what does tag name means. And also we are having one more very commonly used tag called button tag, guys. So this button tag is used for the buttons, we can say. So this is button tag. So this is also a tag name. So this is a tag name. So whatever that is present in this particular embedded, so in this particular angular brackets, this we will call as tag name is. Let's say we are having a button in our web page and the button name, whatever the text that is displaying here as login, right? So this is the thing that we are going to write, guys. So let's say we are having a button tag with this login button. I'm going to show you with a real-time example. Don't worry about that. So please follow this as of now. This login, we can call it as visible text, guys. Visible text. So the first one is the tag name that we are going to use in Selenium. And the second one is we are going to have this visible text case. So the terminology that I am telling about the HTML, what we will call and how we are going to use the terminology in the Selenium, guys. So in our further lectures, these will be very useful for you people, tag name, visible text, whatever it may be that I am going to explain now onwards. Now, we are going to maintain some attributes, guys. Let's say I'm having a input box which will accept the data. This is, let's say, username, guys. Now, for this input box, we will use one tag called input tag, guys. Input tag. Input is a tag. Input is an unpaired tag, guys. It will have only opening tag, not the closing tag. And we are going to use some id is equal to username. The developers are going to use these things to target the elements using javascript, guys. So these are very important to the developers to target the elements by using javascript or to make the html pages dynamic. So they are going to use these kind of things. So here, class is equal to some user ID they are going to use. Like this, they are going to use multiple for a tag, right? So these we will call as attributes, guys. Attributes, which is the third big thing that we are going to discuss in our further lectures. Now, whatever the left hand side that is present here, that is called as attribute name. And whatever the right hand side double quotes that is displaying, this is called as attribute value. So these is things. So this we can say that 3.1 and 3.2. Right. So I'm going to show you this with an example. So let me take one more example like button tag. So whatever the thing that we are going to write in the opening tag with uh, so um, id equal to btn hyphen login. They are going to use like this. So this is tag, guys. And login, this is the closing tag. So this is the thing. This is the tag name. This is attribute name. Let me change my color of the pen so that you will able to. So yeah, this is tag name, the first one. This is attribute name, the second one. This is attribute value, the third one. This is visible text, the fourth one. So these are very important, guys, as part of our Selenium further lecture. So I'm going to use the tag name, attribute value, and the visible text. These kind of terminologies frequently. So that's why I'm stressing you. I'm telling about the HTML also in a separate lecture, guys, by taking some 20 to 30 minutes of time. So this is the thing. So now, once after writing the HTML code in this particular structure, that whatever I have told you here, so this thing, sorry. So in the structure, so that the developers are going to save this particular HTML in .html format with extension and going to give it to the browsers. The browsers are going to convert this HTML into the DOM structure, guys. So how this DOM structure will looks like? So let us see, guys. And also these are the some simple tags where we can able to use in the HTML itself. So the input is the tag where it will take user input, guys. So whatever the input boxes are there, the developers are going to write input tags over there. So wherever the buttons are there, the developers are going to give the tag name called button for that particular thing. So let me show you that DOM structure, how it will be converted into HTML file to DOM structure and how the DOM will look like. Later, we will discuss about the components of the DOM and how this DOM will react, guys. So in our next lecture, we are going to discuss those things. Now, for this, I'm having a really great example. So, are you able to see my screen, right? Yeah. So now what I'm going to tell is about this particular DOM structure, guys. Mm. Yeah. See, you can see here an elements, right? So see, so this is the first line of the structure of the HTML I told, dog type HTML. So this is the starting line of any HTML code, guys, which tells us about which version of HTML that we are using. Later, HTML head. In this head, we are going to have the title, guys. Where is the title? See. So Orange HRM. So this title is the title of that particular web page that is displaying here. Are you able to see my cursor? Yes. Orange HRM is the title. So in this head, this is head, guys. So in this browser, till here, till this particular black line, this is head. Right. From here, the body will start till here, till ending. So I'm going to explain you that. Under HTML only, this entire web page is going to get displayed. So the opening of the HTML tag and closing of the HTML tag, whatever the HTML code that we are going to return, right? So that should be enclosed by HTML opening tag and closed by HTML closing tag. Now, once after opening the HTML, we are going to open head and the title. So all the things, remaining things we can skip. So next the body. So whatever the body that we are going to write. So these are all tags, guys. Like you can see style is a tag, no script is a tag, div is a tag, div. So these are all, so we can say h5 tag. I already told you, h5 is a tag. H5 tag, we can say this tag, div tag, so many tags are there. Let's say about username, guys, without wasting our time. Let's see about username. So what tag they have written for username? See, they have written it as input tag. Why? Because username is a field which is taking some input from the user. So whatever the fields that are going to take input from the particular user, those are going to be put in input tag, guys. And see, so this is an attribute. Whatever the highlighted area is there here, this is an attribute. And we can see name here. Name is one more attribute here. And the placeholder is one more attribute. So this is attribute value and this is attribute name. This is the thing, guys. Right, you understood, right? This is tag name, this is attribute value, attribute name, this is attribute value. These are the things. So same goes for password also. Without wasting the time, let me see for this login button. See, you can see that button tag next. So type equal to submit. A type is an attribute name again. Submit is an attribute value. Class is an attribute name. This is an attribute value. So this is the thing, guys. Now, whatever the thing that you are seeing here between this bottom opening tag and bottom closing tag, this is somewhat called as, this double quotes login is called as visible text, guys. So whatever the text that is displaying in the web page, that we will call as visible text, right? This is visible text, guys. So that's it to tell about this particular thing. So it's enough to know the knowledge about the HTML, what is tag name, what is attribute, what is visible text. This much is enough. If anything requires more, I am going to explain you over there in that particular lecture, Selenium lecture itself, guys. So this is, guys, so this is for today. So I hope you guys understood each and everything that I have already told you. Yeah, so this is for this HTML, guys. So in the next lecture I am going to tell you about DOM structure, how the DOM is going to work and how the DOM will work, what is DOM, how the HTML is related to DOM. We have already discussed that, so nothing more than that. So until then, take care, guys. Bye bye. So please like my videos, share my videos, and uh, so if you share my videos, it will be very useful for your friends also who is particularly into the QA industry and want to become a software tester in their future career. So please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and subscribe to my videos. Until then, take care, guys. Bye bye.